Hi, you're listening to The Island of a Lost Pilot by Rajesh Bhatia, narrated by Deepak Agnihotri. Chapter 10. The Day of Adventure. 21st March, Friday, 9:15 a.m. Oh, Rohan, how are you? Please come. George gave him a warm welcome. He was having coffee from a large mug placed at his table. Want some coffee? He asked. Rohan nodded, and George asked his assistant to bring nice coffee for Rohan. George praised Rohan about yesterday's combat with Chang and asked him about his training and family. Finally, Rohan came to the point. George's assistant had taken the cups away and was not there. Rohan was waiting for this opportunity and said, George, my prestige is at stake. I want a favor from you. Only you can help me. George looked at him questioningly. I have had a bet with my friends. I have been assigned to bring the photographs of Queen Victoria, a cruise ship, which is now at Subic Bay. If I succeed, we win a nice dinner with a movie on Sunday at Manila. You are also invited. Tell me the details. Rohan explained him everything. George listened and spoke gravely. Such type of bets should be avoided. This is risky. Flight route towards that place is not allowed. Forget it if you can. Don't try it. It is my sincere advice. I find no danger. Is there no solution at all? Please do something, Rohan pleaded. It is a matter of my reputation. George stretched on his chair and closed his eyes as if in some deep thought. Rohan didn't disturb him and waited patiently. After a few minutes, he opened his eyes, stared at Rohan for some time and said slowly, I'm going to help you because of many reasons. You are supposed to be my teacher in the gym. You had been kind not to hurt my brother, and now you want to take a risk to please your friend because you have the heart of gold. George looked at his watch, 9:40 a.m. Give me some time, Rohan. Say about 1.5 hours. Either you call me or I will make a call to you. Rohan thanked him and took leave. George looked at a map, made some calculations and muttered to himself. It is possible. Subic Bay is about 45 miles from here. And he stopped immediately as his assistant entered. Hold the fort, please. I will be back in a few minutes, he said to his assistant and moved out. 21st March, 11:15 a.m. Rohan was waiting for George at the foot of the control tower. Within this time, he had been to his room, taken a bath, changed his clothes, picked up a camera, grabbed a quick sandwich from the hostel canteen and had informed his gang about the good news that George had agreed to help him. When the call from George came to his cellular phone, who was asking him to meet him immediately at this place. George came down from the control tower and handed Rohan an air navigation map. There should be one map in the aircraft, but somehow, if it is not there, you can have this one. Subic Bay is about 45 miles or 40 nautical miles from here. By flying at 80 knots, you can cover the to and fro distance of Subic Bay in 1 hour. Taking 8 to 10 minutes for takeoff and landing, and another 5 minutes to take the photographs, you need a maximum 1.25 hour for this operation. Start sharp at 11:50 or a few minutes to 12. Lunch break will be from 1 to 1:30. Everybody will be busy for lunch at frontline. You will not contact the tower till you are near airstrip on your back journey. You must be back by 1:20. If somebody asks why I was late, what should be told? Asked Rohan. Simply say that you lost the way. It has happened before also. People had lost their way and wandered. Once a trainee lost his way and had to land about 80 miles away. If everything goes well, it is okay. If something goes wrong, I am not involved. I have not instructed you anything. I am doing it not for the dinner. I also like adventure and brave men like you. But I also want to save my job. You have a 50-50 chance. Take a 172. It is faster. I have some close friends at your workshop and hangar and have luckily arranged for a very good 172 with full fuel tank. He will keep the aircraft waiting for you at about 11:45. I think that among your friends you can arrange to have that plane. The person recognizes you and will help you to be in that aircraft. Give me a call on my mobile when you start. George wrote something on a piece of paper and handed it to Rohan. What is this? Asked Rohan. This is the flight route to Subic Bay and back. How you can plan your route without it? See, today is cloudy. Keep yourself above and in between the clouds. Most of the straight route to Subic Bay is above Manila Bay, some fields and jungles. So go ahead and best of luck to you. 21st March, 11:52 a.m. Hi George, I'm in the air, right on schedule in 172 and the fuel gauge indicates full fuel tanks. Good. Do as I had instructed. Keep yourself above the clouds. Don't call me till you have come back. Rohan smiled, disconnected the call, and casually looked at the screen of his Nokia N90 handset. Only one line of battery charging indicator. Oh my God, forgot to charge the mobile phone today because of this busy morning. How careless of me. Anyway, it is a matter of only 1 hour. This much charging should do, he muttered to himself. He jerked the thought of his mistake from his mind and concentrated towards his flying. He made a half circle, took a left turn, looked at the piece of paper given by George, and without wasting any time, darted towards Subic Bay. He patted his pocket. The camera was there. He thanked God for the dark clouds that were hiding his craft from the ground's view. He took out a navigation map, studied it, and tried to compare the landmarks below with those given in the map, wherever the ground was visible. He was on a right track. His altitude was 8,000 feet as advised by George, and speed 82 knots. He looked at his watch, 12:07, made some mental calculations, 15 more minutes to go. Soon he reached Subic Bay, lowered the aircraft out of the clouds, and looked below for Queen Victoria. The ship was there, but from that altitude it appeared very small. He will have to go lower, and now he understood that situation was grave. The aircraft was registered with Frontline Aviation and had its registration number with Frontline logo on it. If he lowered further, anybody from the ground could be suspicious of a small plane, the pilot of which is taking photograph of a ship. The Frontline authorities might be questioned, and by mentioning the time and the identification number of the aircraft, he would be easily tracked. Beads of sweat appeared on his brow. Whether he should go ahead or abandon this idea, he felt himself safe at that altitude. At this height, his aircraft was visible only like a fly from the ground. When I have come up to this place, I should take the rest of the risk also, he thought. Whatever happens, I will face it and cross the bridge when I will come to it, he decided, and brought the plane lower over the cruise ship. It was indeed a wonderful view. What a magnificent ship! He had himself not seen such a cruise ship. It was really a treat to the eyes. Rohan circled over the ship and had taken some photographs when his cellular phone rang. Shekhar, his father, was on the line. "Hi, Dad. Guess where I am?" "I can't see. Where are you?" "I'm at Subic Bay, taking photographs of Queen Victoria, a very beautiful and big cruise ship." "Are you on that ship?" "Oh no, I'm flying in my plane." "Are you alone?" Shekhar was worried. "Don't worry, Dad. Yes, I'm alone, but there is nothing to worry about. I have come this far very easily and reached back to my place without any difficulty." Rohan couldn't keep the truth from his father and told him about the bet in short. "Rohan, this is not good. It is an aircraft you are flying. You are not simply driving a car. You are not supposed to take such a risk. You are only a beginner. You are too young to understand what you have done. You have violated flying rules and committed a crime, Shekhar shouted angrily. Now go back immediately and call me as soon as you land safely and find everything normal there, ordered Shekhar. Rohan trembled. Although Shekhar was like his friend and loved him, but today he was really very angry. And after all, he was his father, and he respected him. I'm very sorry, Dad. I'm going back immediately. And promise me that you will not repeat this kind of foolishness in future. Rohan promised it, and Shekhar disconnected the call. He had lifted up the aircraft while talking to his father. Suddenly, there was a spark from somewhere. He was alarmed, looked here and there to find the cause of the spark, but couldn't find any. He tried to feel below the instrument panel for any hanging wire. Nothing. He looked at the various dial gauges of the instrument panel and studied each and every dial. Every dial seemed to work perfect. He looked in the back of the aircraft. Behind the folded single back seat, a large tarpaulin was kept at the luggage compartment's place. He shrugged and concentrated in his flying. It started drizzling. Gradually, the speed of the rain increased, and soon it was raining cats and dogs. The mood of the weather suddenly changed, and lightning started. The wind was very wild, and the aircraft trembled. Rohan was worried and decided to lift it above the clouds. At least visibility will be better there, and George had also instructed about this. He looked at the gauges to verify his return course and compared with the readings given on the piece of paper George had given to him. Everything seemed right. He looked below and couldn't make the head or tail of the landscape. He was above the clouds now. Here shone the clear sky. The disturbance due to the heavy rain was not disturbing now. The clouds below appeared like a vast and endless blanket stretched up to horizon on all sides with no visible sign of land. The clouds were black and grey. The sight could be said amazing, but from a bigger aircraft flown by some other pilot. But Rohan was not in a position to appreciate this view. He now seriously wanted to reach back safely and added 5 knots to his speed to make it 87 knots or 100 miles per hour. Time appeared to have stopped, as nothing seemed to move except the propeller. He was really worried and even frightened. His father was right. He was skating on thin ice and had put his life in danger. Even George might not have thought about this type of flying conditions. His heart was beating so frantically that sound of the powerful 150 HP Lycoming engine seemed suppressed by it. Should he contact the control tower now? No, George will be in trouble. A few more minutes of flying, and then he will contact him, and everything will be right. And perhaps, till then, either clouds will be scattered or the rain stopped. Exactly after 22 minutes, he decided to take the plane down and look at the landscape below. He spread the map to compare the landscape and correct his direction if it was required. But to the best of his belief, his direction should be right. After all, he had reached to Subic Bay also without any change of direction. He checked the fuel gauge, nearly full. The distance of about 90 miles covered has not affected the position of the needle. He checked the oil pressure and other gauges. Every instrument was normal. He looked at his watch, 12:57. Within 10 minutes, he should land. He was right in time. He should be there. He marked an imaginary point on the navigation map and dived out of the clouds to match the landscape with that point. His jaw sagged and eyes widened with horror. In his life of 21 years on this earth, he had never met with such a surprise. He had the utmost jolt of his life when he found nothing but sea instead of land below him. 12:57 p.m. Plaridel Airfield. Sonu, Girish and Abhinav were eagerly waiting for Rohan on the runway. It had rained heavily after Rohan had left, and the flights were suspended for about 20 minutes. The runway was wet, and the rain was very little now. The sound of an aircraft reached their ears, and an aircraft came into view and was about to land. It should be Rohan. The aircraft, a Cessna 172, landed, taxied, and approached near them. The cockpit opened, and Thakur jumped out. "Where is Rohan?" he asked, searching for him. "We thought it was him. He should be here any time now," said Abhinav, looking at his watch. Looking out of the control tower window, George was also waiting for Rohan. "If I had known that the weather will be that bad, I wouldn't have let Rohan go today. I hope that he copes with that weather and completes the mission," thought George, and looked at his watch. 12:57. He should be on the right track now. Saying this, he sat in his seat, smiled, closed his eyes, deep in thought. 10:27 a.m. Gurgaon, near Delhi, India. 12:57 p.m. at Plaridel, Philippines. Thousands of miles away from Philippines, Shekhar was pacing the floor of his office, worried and waiting for Rohan's call after he had landed his plane safely. He stood in front of the photograph of Lord Krishna, who had a chakra in his finger, folded his hands and prayed, "O Lord, I am thousands of miles away and helpless, but you are omnipresent and omnipotent. Please be with my son and pilot his aircraft through all calamities, as you did with Arjuna, by being his chariot driver in the war of Kurukshetra." He bowed and looked pleadingly in the eyes of Lord Krishna, and was surprised to see that Lord Krishna was smiling at him. He had never noticed this smile before, although he had seen this photograph thousands of times. This smile was meant for today. He felt relieved and thanked the Lord.